Ed, come jump on mount over here, buddy. Okay, this week we're having a look at mount, and just going to have a look at the first kind of combination. So jump up. So from mount, there's what I consider to be the first, second, and third safe attacks from mount. And the first safe attack is what we call a kimura or a figure four. So what Ian's going to do is he's going to get the hand. He drops his elbow to the inside of my head from here. The other hand comes under and revs. So what he's going to do for me is going to turn all of his fingers down, and now, without lifting my elbow, just slowly drag his elbow down to his knee. So the kimura, that's your first safe one. The reason why it's safe, you don't have to leave now. Like you're not doing an arm bar, you're not transitioning. The second safe one's called a cross collar choke, and the reason being again is the reason why I like what I call this a safe attack is because even if you fail the choke and that bridge and roll, which is what we're going to do, we still have the choke on. Right, so we're going to start with this. So Ian's going to use his left hand, and what he's going to do is going to find the collar. Now, you think about it this way is this. You're going to pull the collar up. So on the same side, pull the collar up, and that allows your fingers to go in deep. But what you want to do is you try and get your top knuckles, so your punch knuckles to the ground. Now, the way I got taught this was the more that you put weight onto your partner's shoulders and neck, the more I have the option to bridge and roll. So we're going to start with this as the first option. So the person underneath, what we're going to do is we're going to get a cross grip onto the sleeve and onto the elbow. Okay, so this should be easy because I should be attacking the hips or throwing off the hips. And that gives them access to it. So I'm going to go cross grip, so my hand goes sleeve, my hand goes elbow. The part that makes this really interesting is that if I simply bridge up and down, Ian's not going to move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to raise my hips and run my hips to my right or to the trapped side. So I raise my hips, I just start to walk my hips. Right, now, because I already have the sleeve, it's harder for him to complete the choke, and I can grip break, which makes it harder for him to complete the choke because he's only got one hand in the collar. So let's have a quick look at that again. So we're going to go on the cross collar choke. So Ian's up on mount. And start with, the way I like to do it is, we open up the collar. The main reason being it gives me the space to put my hand in. Sometimes it's not there. And a lot of times, as you're pushing your hand, so I've got my frame system, you're doing great, Ian. Yep, so put your hand in. So as I've got my frame system as I'm defending, it's hard for me to stop the choke. So I'm going to go the opposite side. Elbow and sleeve. Now, what I originally got taught was we bridge, we'll try and roll. The downfall about this is that Ian can grapevine my legs. You know, there's a lot of stuff he can do. So what I'm going to do is says, on the same side of my right leg extends, and that's going to put pressure onto his calf, onto his ankle. That means that it's harder for him to pull it out. Secondly is, as I bridge off that and turn my hips down, I'm simply starting to walk up, straight away, grip fight, and come up to a position. Make sure both hands onto the wrist, not the forearm, from here, onto the wrist, and now we can start to initiate the guard pass. Pretty simple to start with. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Good job, Ian. Palm out. Let me explain it. So, Chris, I have no idea. I'm so sorry. I your name's now Chris. Okay. So as we get the grip and the hand goes in from here, but what I was thinking was they're like that, but you can still. I'm going to say, Brendan, I'm mentally fucking. Yeah, man, just one of those days. So Paul can pull his leg out, right? So what we want to do, what I concentrate on this is, what I'm seeing people is they're going here, which is good, but then as they're bridging, Paul can pull his leg out and upgrade and post it. Yeah, right, so this isn't good for me, right, or Chris, right, or Paul. Okay, so, sorry, what I want to do for you is, as if to the college, do you mind just going the opposite hand for me, just for the, yeah. So we've got the cross grip in here. So if you think about this way, it's just, the more I put the weight here and the more I walk, the harder it is for Paul to pull the leg out. So the more that I bend my leg, the more that the weight comes off it. So it's really important, and this is what I'm saying, we're not bridging. Because every time that I bridge, I give him a space to be able to pull the leg out, which we're going to have a look at soon. If I am going to bridge, right, the concept on the bridge is that I'm going to try and take his head as far over as we can so he can't post. But this one here, it's more like I go heavy leg and walk my left leg, right leg, and I'm just kind of running. So they can post. But the downfall about it is that the momentum's going to get Paul to fall over the top. One more time. So when we got the grip, a lot of the time that we're getting the choke, we're punching the hand down to get a really good grip. And I see people grabbing kind of this way. The downfall about it, once again, is I'm holding his weight onto my hips, which means if I'm trying to bridge my hips, it holds him in position, right? So if I can't get this cross grip mechanic, I'm actually pulling him the way I want him to go instead of trying to hold him the way that I want it. So from here, your right leg goes straight, turn your toes towards the way you're going, and we'll just start to walk. Does that kind of make sense? And now we can start a quick break and come up, and now we should be in kind of pass mode. Okay, 1, 2, 3. To your back, please, buddy. So we're just going to go through this just so everyone understands the mechanics on it. Like, so if I'm going to open up the collar, my hand goes in. So Paul's going to cross grip and cross grip from here. So one of the things I've recognised is that if I'm putting my left hand in the collar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide my legs straight up. Right. So what I'm doing is, as I go hand inside the collar, as I feel the grip, my leg just comes up and I keep my weight on this side. So if Paul tries to bridge and roll and move me down, like my weight's on top of him, which makes it harder. Because Paul's committed both of his hands to the bridge and roll, as he bridges or walks or whatever like that, right, I then just put my hand in, my head goes down. So it's really hard for him to stop the choke because he's committed the hands. All I'll do is I'm going to go so I just bring my elbows together to do the choke. And the choke's a really solid, really fast choke. It's not like the normal cross collar choke where we're here and there's a little bit of fighting and all that. This one here, because I've turned to the side, the carotid's exposed immediately. And because you're bridging, all your weight's onto your neck, all your muscles are contracted, so it bites, pretty much straight away. It's horrible, not for me. Okay, so nice and tight. And as soon as I feel the hands, I slide my leg up. Now, the important thing is my head's got to go to the ground on this side. Oh, sorry, my head's got to go to the ground over. So as Paul bridges, my head goes down and I post. So, see, if I try and take my head this side straight away, I'm going to get rolled. So my head goes this side, and then I gently post it over, and I just bring my hand through. And all I'm doing is, I'll move my head that way, is I'm just gripping. It doesn't even have to be deep. And now, elbows come together. Just
so exposed then.
Yeah, it's only because you're doing the correct thing.
Yeah.
You're doing the correct mount escape for it, but we're just taking advantage of the opportunities that arrive. So this is my favourite choke. I love hitting from out. I've won so many tournaments with this. It's just stupid. I'll grab you in onto his back. Thanks, Paul. Because everyone thinks that like your choke has to be slow and squeeze and anaconda, boa constrictor kind of thing, slow back. Because I reckon that chokes, if you do it properly, they're going to come on. They have to react straight away. So once again, it's like if I get the collar choke, my hand goes in, and once Ian commits to, or you can't because it's on the other side. So remember, so once Ian commits to his hands, I bring my knee up. So they'll continue, and if they don't, I'm going to do that. So from here, head goes down. You can't roll me that way because, so as it does that, my head goes down, and my hand's coming, and all I'm doing is gripping. So I move my head out of the way. I'm just holding like this, so I'm just holding the shoulder. I'm not even trying to get my fingers in.
No? Okay.
I just put my elbows together.
Oh, yeah, that's yucky.
So here, and his elbows come together. And the beautiful thing about it is that if Ian does try to bridge and roll me, it actually makes this worse.
Yeah.
If Ian decides to pull me back up on mount, it makes it worse. So this is one of those ones where I can, if I need to, bring my right leg, start to transition to the arm bar as well. Like I've got so much stuff set up. So I'm kind of baiting them with the cross collar choke, but I'm taking the high road on it as well. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And head facing away from me. Yep. I'm gonna move you just over here. No, you're cool. You're cool. Very cool. Yeah. Right. Okay. So if you think about it this way, right? When I'm on mount, my opponent generally wants to take my weight forwards, to take the weight off my hips and my knees so that they can bridge and roll. So that's kind of my thing. So when I'm doing this choke, what I see people do is they come forwards, which means that the bridge and roll is pretty much set up already because my hips have come away. So what we're trying to do from here is we're trying to go here and pull my palm in. So I have this hand. So there's a weight system on my right hand. So if Ian does try and roll me to his right hand side, this hand keeps the weight down. If they bridge me forward, I have a frame system here. So this is the part that we need to make sure that once Ian commits his hands to here, I can then move. And I'm kind of crushing the frame system, right? That comes up. It's really important. Now, as Ian tries to bridge and roll, my head goes down, transfers over, hand goes in, elbows come in. So the part that I see people do is they kind of misunderstand what this hand does. So I'm going to go open, hand goes in, and I'm going to go punch and punch. So it's quite a heavy mechanic. So if Ian does bridge me forward or bridge, my weight's still on my frame system. And then as I feel Ian, now Ian can attack this hand as well if he wants to attack this hand, but it's going to put the choke on. So now, post and crush. My leg goes forward and our head goes down. Walk your hand. So what I think people do is once they've got this hand here, they immediately try and use this because this is the time that they're going to bridge and roll because, so I want to make sure that this is a punch system. Here.
Is that straight?
Change buttons, 1, 2, 3. Favourite entrance into this choke. And I've only started doing this probably the last 3 or 4 years. The main reason is people, like, I'll throw my left hand inside people's collar and people kind of go to choke and they start to try and defend it. So it just gives me a couple of really nice setups to go to mount. So I'm just going to go inside my glider, please. So if you're doing quick glider, yeah, straight here. Okay, I'll jump on this side, guys, easy. So, full guard. I work exactly the same concept. So my right hand opens up the collar, and what I'm trying to do is pull forward so my left hand goes in. A lot of time for me, my partner's going to try and defend it. So, and they, they're going to make a really good effort to try and grip break. I want you to do 2 motions. Number 1 is this: I put my feet down, I hip escape, and I sit up. So I don't need to do anything else, and they're going to kind of use that momentum where they're going to try and bridge and roll to their right. So as they bridge and roll to the right, head goes down, hand comes in, and the choke. So it's
a good shot.
Yeah, it's pretty much on. So for me, right, is I don't have to clear any of the debris because it's already done from the sweep mechanic. What I mean by that is there's no hands on my hips, there's not escaping mount. So full guard, open up, hand goes in. And look, question is, what happens if they don't defend the choke? Well, I just choke them, you know what I mean? So they're going to defend. The hardest part I see when people try and do the hip bump sweep, they try and do it from underneath their partner. So my hips are below the hip line, which makes this very hard to sit up. So what I'm doing for me is I bring my elbow back and I make a small adjustment and I'm on my side. The second part that makes this work is I'm going to get my hips high. So elbow to hand, come over. Now, my knee already goes high. So that's a key indicator. So my knee is already high. Here, so it's very hard for them to bridge or roll already, but I'm set. So my head goes down and transfers, head posts on the ground. So that gives me space to let go of my hand. I walk my hand inside. My elbows come together. So I take my right elbow to my left elbow and just squeeze. But if my partner does try to push me off or roll, I just simply drop my hips down nice and low. So there's no space for him to do it. I just keep onto the neck. One more time. So full guard, so open up the collar, hand goes in, and I'll go fishing so I get a nice tight grip. He's recognising that we're in a choke mechanic, so elbow goes backwards, elbow to hand. Okay, stiff arm punch, big step with my knee, so I already tapped my knee so he can't block it. Come up and over, most people are going to use that momentum, so my head goes down, my ground straight away, lock my hand, come through, elbows come together. 1, 2, 3. Simples.